What's up, guys? Gavex here, back with another one for y'all. Today I wanted to show you guys how I like to sample my melodies, and I'm actually going to start off by showing you guys this cool website called samplette.io. If you like using like samples a lot and you don't really care about royalties, this is a really good website for you guys. So you can see that you can put filters on it, you know, if I want to change the genre, style, region, key, tempo, like anything. So how it works is I can listen to it, and if I'm not really fucking with it, I can just click random and shuffle all of YouTube. That's basically what it does. It filters out all of the non-songs or like music videos on YouTube, and it gives you all videos that are music. And you can see some of these have 16 views, like no one's using that. I guess I'm just a freak. So now I'm just gonna go through these until I find something that I like. So now that I found one that I like, I can just click this button right here that copies the link. And then all you have to do is go to a YT to MP3 converter, which takes a YouTube link and converts it into an MP3 file. And then you can just paste the link in. This is the one that I use, ytmp3.gg. So once you paste the link in, you can just click convert, and then it'll prepare the video for you and download it for you. And then once it's done preparing and formatting, click the download button, and then it'll go wherever you want it to go in your file manager. Now that I have my sample in here, I'm just gonna find the BPM, which you actually can do in Samplette, but I think it's just easier for me to do it in here. Also, I saw in Samplette, they give you the key, so now I know the key is C major. So now I'm just gonna find the BPM. So I found the BPM, and let's just say this shit is really bad. It's like 133.24. So if you get a weird BPM like that, which I did, you can just put this clip in stretch and then change it to like an actual good BPM, because you do not want to deal with that. Just make sure before you do that, you actually match the BPM to the clip exactly, or as close as you can, because if you don't, then it's going to sound off when you actually have the BPM lined up to whatever you want it to be. So now what I'm going to do, since I have the BPM and the key, I'm actually going to go into the audio clip settings and go down to here, go down to extract stems from sample, and then I'm going to select all the ones that I want. So I just selected all of them because I don't know what I want to do yet, and then I'm just going to click extract. Okay, so now that we have everything extracted, we have all the individual parts. Most likely I'm going to be using the vocals and the instruments like the guitar, because usually when I'm sampling stuff, that's what I just like to do, because the bass kind of makes it hard. Then you already have a bass line that you have to use for the 808s, and the drums, obviously I'm gonna make my own drums, so I don't need those. So I'm just gonna listen now and see what I can find. Usually I like to look through this whole vocals and all these instruments and look through where I find a good part that I like and that I want to actually use for the song. All right, so now I listened to all of the song, and I think I found some parts that I like. So I like this part right here with the guitar. And I also like this little part. It's like the chorus. Just tie the rope and kick the chair. Just leave me hanging there. Yes. And then I also like this part. It's like the second part of the chorus. And I think I know why you never get too close. It's 'cause you're too scared. So yeah, now that I have all the parts that I like, I can just go over here, select unused audio clips, and then delete. I think I'm gonna pitch all of these and then just export them. Now I have every clip exported. Now I have a bunch of stuff to work with. Now that these are all new clips, we can use that trick that I taught you guys in the last video, and we're gonna switch all audio clips to stretch, so we can change the BPM however we want. So now I have a bunch of clips that I like straight up out of the vocals, and I do that by just listening to them and figuring out, you know, could this sound good in a sample? Could this sound good in a song with drums? You know what I mean? It doesn't take really a lot of ear practice to listen for these things. All you have to do is just sample a lot of things, and then you'll understand. If you sample a lot of things, or if you listen to a lot of samples, then you'll kind of understand. One thing I like to do a lot is when I hear a song that I'm listening to and it contains a sample, like let's say if I'm listening to like a Ken Carson song and it sounds like it contains like a vocal chop in there, sometimes I like to listen and maybe try and figure out where that song is from, so I can understand what the producer took from the original song and put it into this vocal sample and what he was listening for when he was listening to the actual song. So now what I'm gonna do, since I have all these vocals, I'm gonna try and take them and put them together in some type of way that makes it sound cool. All right, I got my chop. Here it is. Now that I have that, I'm going to add some effects on it. I saw a comment in, I think, the last video, or 2 videos ago maybe, the melody video, and he was asking, is it basically just effects that I put on the melody to sound good? And I would say that's like 20% of it, 25% of it. I think obviously having a good melody base is very important, way more important than effect, but effects do help out a lot to give it a lot of personality. So yeah, I would say it's 25% of it. I'm gonna add shaper box on this actually. All right, so I added some effects on it. This is all I put on it. I put on a compressor, boost the mids a little bit, put on shaper box, one of my presets, went in portal, put on a preset in there, and then I just cut the low end out of it. So yeah, so now I'm gonna mess with this guitar, see what I can add to it to make it sound cooler. All right, I added some effects to it. I actually kind of added a lot. So I just cut out the lows and like rolled off the highs a little bit, added a compressor, cut down the low end, boosted the high and mids a little bit, added this plugin called initial reverse, which basically what it does is it takes like whatever setting you have it on. So it takes like a quarter bar for me, it plays it and then reverses it. So if you have it on 100%, everything will just be reversed every 4th bar. But if you turn it down a little bit, it'll be both at the same time, and it adds a cool little effect. And if you turn the fader on, the reverse fades in. So I really like that. Added some halftime on it, put it down to 40% mix, top half band. Added some Valhalla Uber mod, literally didn't do anything to this, just put it on. And then added some quarter dot delay. Not much of it, but you know, just a little, just enough. And here's how the whole thing sounds so far. Guitar to me seems more like a granular instead of like an actual guitar, which I kind of like. I don't really use granulars a lot. So now I'm just gonna add some simple drums before I put on some other sounds. Sometimes before I even do the 808s, I already kind of know what I want it to sound like because I can just imagine them on it. Because once you make a lot of beats, you kind of just imagine some sounds on the actual beat. I kind of want to kick too. Now that I have these drums, I think I want to add a couple more sounds to this. The first thing that comes to mind is a synth bass, so that's probably what I'm going to do. Just following the root notes of the 808 probably. Now that I have the bass down, I'm probably just going to add some pretty simple lead. All right, now that I have my lead and my bass line, I might add one little counter melody, and then I think that's it, because I definitely don't want to overdo it in this beat. All right, now that I have the full melody done, I think I did a nice, small, very subtle counter melody, a nice lead, addictive lead, I would say, a smooth bass line, and then of course I got the vocal chop and the guitar. Now that I have the full melody, it's just time to arrange the beat. All right guys, now that I'm done arranging the beat, that's how I sample my melodies and take some samples that I get and make them into nice beats. So here's the whole thing. Alright guys, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the love and support that y'all been giving me. You know what I'm saying? Y'all the reason that I can do this shit. So I hope this video helped you guys out, and I hope you guys can use some of the techniques that I showed y'all in this video. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're new, whether you've been producing for a long time, doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all like this video and it helped you out in any way, feel free to like. And if you want to see some more shit like this, just subscribe. And you know, if y'all want something else or something different than this, just let me know in the comments, and I'll see what I could do. So yeah, appreciate it. Peace out.